Hello, this is Joseph Smejkal. What are some reasons why you want to run for city council?
When I served in 2008, we had a budget of around $750 million. And now we have it up to $1.8 billion. And so I think that it's time to do a zero-based budget approach and scrub that budget and making sure that we are more effective with the dollars that we have at our disposal and are responsible and accountable to the constituents of Corpus Christi. Another thing is, the water crisis. I don't know if people are taking that serious enough. I hope that they are, because it's in a very crisis mode situation. We've got to do something about our water situation, and I want to provide the leadership for that. And finally, I believe that I have the skill sets to be able to work with anyone, whoever's elected, and whoever our mayor ends up being. I am the kind of person that can work with anyone and appreciate their arguments and have healthy debates, and at the end of the day, come up with a very positive, cost-effective solution. I also served, something I left out. I'm talking about countless nonprofit organizations where ultimately I would end up being the president of those nonprofits, which is really something that really satisfies. It's a self-satisfying work that you do, right? I mean, you do it to improve the quality of life for people and for those who are underserved. And I took a great deal of joy in working and serving in those capacities. And I would ultimately end up being the president of those nonprofit organizations. So leadership is kind of something that I kind of jump into and that I'm comfortable in doing because I just can't sit on the sideline and just watch senseless debates go on. I want something of substance, and I want it done, and I want to see it done to its fruition. So any project we take on, I want to see it to the end of its fruition.
Okay, so going along with your natural leadership inclination, what are some of the issues, you touched on them briefly, what are some of the issues you'd like to address as an at-large council member for Corpus Christi? Some of the issues you see not only now but going forward.
The top priorities I have are water, and to secure an uninterrupted water source for our constituents and our customers. 2 is to focus on our streets and to continue working and focused on our streets and improving those situations. And then, of course, lowering our tax rate and the fees that are placed in our constituents. I think that we can implement the zero-based budget approach that I had introduced back in 2008. Zero-based means that everyone, as you prepare for the budget, starts at zero. You have to justify every line item in the budget. You can't just add 3% or 5% or whatever it is that you want to add. You've got to actually start at zero and then do the exercise and work from there, and then that's where your budget will be approved. I think there's a great value in that, making sure that we all understand where we're spending our dollars and making sure that we're not misspending them anywhere else where they don't need to be. So I think that is my focus is the water, securing the uninterrupted water sources. And I say sources because we have to have a portfolio of water options. 2 is better quality of streets. I don't ever think that streets are going to be 100% resolved, because that's an ongoing problem, not just here in Corpus, but throughout the nation. I mean, infrastructure is something you always have to continue to address and put on a maintenance program, and making sure that you stay up with it so that it's not that expensive as you start rebuilding roads. And then finally, our taxes and our fees. I think they're out of control, and I think we need to get back into control of taxes and fees. I would like to see our city, and don't get me wrong, I think there are good things that are happening in the city. I see some splash pads that are being built, swimming pools where needed to be swimming pools at. I see some skate parks. So the quality of life is certainly improving. But we want to go from good to great, right? I mean, I think we can always be better, and there are some opportunities out there. I want to see a 5 and 10 year plan so that we can stay focused on the plan, create the plan, and then work the plan, and then making sure that we evaluate the plan on a continuous basis.
Mr. Elizondo, how do you feel about the state economy, the economy here in Corpus, and what are your views?
I appreciate the question. I think that, again, we are in a good place, but we can always get better. The taxes need to be lowered, fees need to be adjusted, because a lot of times the decisions that are made at the federal level affect our constituents here in Corpus Christi. And so that's always a heavy load to carry. But what I think we ought to do is expand and diversify the industries that we have here in Corpus Christi so that we can grow as a community. We can bring more people down here that want to live here, that choose to live here and work here. And the way I think we need to do that is to diversify our industries. We rely a lot on oil and gas, and that's a good thing. They've provided so much for our city. But I think we ought to do what we can to bring down technical jobs, medical jobs, all kind of different type of jobs so that we no longer are dependent on any one industry. So I think there's opportunities there. We've got a beautiful city. We've got wonderful natural resources that we have to protect. Anyone that we bring in as an industry, whatever that industry may be, needs to understand that we're very proud of our clean city, that we want to maintain the attainment status that we have. I'm not sure whether many people understand, though, that even though we have a heavy industry presence, we are one of the cleanest cities in the state. And that speaks volumes. I mean, that tells you that our industry that is here today is responsible and accountable. We're in one of two areas in the entire nation that is still under attainment status, given the density of our industry. I think that's something to be proud of. I think that while I want to expand opportunities for other industries to come in here, they need to be good industries and responsible industries, and that they will be great neighbors to our constituents. So in closing, I just want to tell you that, I would be extremely proud to have another opportunity to serve this community. I think I've got the experience and the wisdom to be able to provide leadership to get us to where we need to be.
Thank you so much.